Hello, welcome to the Panama Buena Vista Union School District. If you're watching this video because you're new to our district, I just want to say welcome. It's a wonderful district. I hope you like working here, and I hope you have a great school year. Um, so the purpose of this video is to introduce you to some of the basics of our seating chart program and our grading program. This is the front website of that program. It's called Synergy. It's also known as Genesis. Most people refer to it as Synergy. Before I get into it, I did want to point one thing out. You'll notice up here in my Google Chrome that I have these files and these bookmarks. This is a bookmark bar, and I put all of the websites that I visit regularly. I save them and bookmark them up here, especially ones that I use pretty frequently. Synergy is one that you will use every single day, multiple times a day. So I highly recommend, as soon as you get to this, that you bookmark this, and all you got to do to do that is click on the star up here in the bar up here, and just you can decide where you want it to go. Make sure you put it in the bookmark bar, and then click done. If you want to save room in your bookmark bar, you can just get rid of the name and just leave the icon there, just like I've done. I like to do that so that I have more room for more bookmarks up here. All right, let's get started. So make sure to get your login name and password from your front office or from your C5 at your school site. They should have that for you. Now, when you first log in, you may or may not have students in your roster. It just depends the time of the year, if your students have been uploaded. But if they are there, they may or may not be already in a seating chart. This is my students, and you can set up the seating chart however you like. Over here on the right, you'll see this area indicating the term and what course it is. This is my homeroom and how many students are in there. And if I want to change period, all you do is hover over the homeroom indicator and then select a period. You'll notice that on the right side, you also have an option as to how many students are actually there that day and how many are absent. To edit this, all you do is click edit, and then you can just move. If you want to just move students, you just move the student to the area that you want, and you'll notice that it moves the other student back to that area as well. If you want to edit your seating chart, you can just do that right here. Indicate where you want the front of the classroom to be with this button right here. I like to put it at the bottom because I sit over here, stand over here behind my podium. I'm usually walking around up here, so this is the front of my classroom, and then I have my classroom set up where the desks are in pairs. You can do however you like, though. You can do it with groups, you can do it in single rows. It's totally up to you. If you want to hide this, all you do is click this little arrow right there and it'll move it. And if you want to make this bigger or smaller, just click this over down. I know there is another video that will go into more detail about how to manipulate your seating chart. I'm going to move on, though, to what my focus will be for this video is the gradebook. So go to our gradebook, just simply bring your icon up here and click gradebook. And when you do that, it'll take you directly to your gradebook. Again, to change periods, you just simply hover over this icon right here and you can choose whichever period you want. Notice over here on the right, you also have the option of choosing a particular quarter. Make sure that you're in quarter one when you first open this up, because that's the quarter that you're starting off with, obviously. So you'll have your students over here, and then their grades, if you have any grades, and then you have their assignments and tests. To manipulate some of this stuff, to manipulate these things, you click over here at filters and options, and you'll have all these different options right here. You can decide to sort your students by first name rather than last. That's something I prefer to do, so I do that. You can indicate which order you want your assignments to be in, and just simple things. Just play around with all this, get familiar with it. If you want to see old students that have been dropped, but you don't see their grades, you can click on the Show Drop Students. If you want to hide their class grade, you click Hide Class Grade. You'll notice that on my grade book that there are red arrows and some of the grades are in red. That's because that indicates that students are at risk because of a certain grade that I have set. I've set at 69%. So any grades, assignments, or their overall grade that is 69% or below will be indicated with a red arrow, or it will be highlighted in red. You can change that to whatever you like as well. It's up to you. So I'm going to show you how to make an assignment. To make an assignment, just go up to this new button right here and just click the new button. And it'll take you to the assignment making site, part of the website. And so up here, first thing you're going to do is give the assignment a name. And if you want to give the assignment a description, you can do that as well. And then what you want to do is go over here on the right, click the date it was assigned. If you can't remember the day it was assigned, what I do when I can't remember is I just go to my lesson plan book and I look for the date where we had actually discussed that topic, and I gave the assignment. And then you want to click here the date it was due. And then right here you'll have the option of show assignment in portal. You want that on. And then you have this option here, show only when scored. I like to click this because I don't really like students to see, or parents to see the grade and the assignment until there's actually a grade there. Sometimes they'll ask me questions about it, and I just may not have had enough time to kind of get to it yet. So I'd rather them see it once there's a score there. Then you got to choose the assignment type. This is pretty important because this will determine the weight of the assignment grade. In our district, we have what's called the 90-10 policy. 90% of their grades are summative assessments, and 10% are their assignments. So if it's an assignment, of course, you're going to click assignments. If it's any kind of test where you are measuring a skill or knowledge, then you're going to click summative assessment. Once you've done that, make sure it's set to raw score. You can play with that and figure that out if you want to change how you score, but most people use raw score. You want your max score typically to be the maximum of points for that assignment. I'll just make it 10. And then you make your other point total. I usually match the max score and the point total. And then if you have a period, if you're a junior high teacher and you have periods that have the same class and you want to assign this assignment to those other classes, then you just go down here, click on sections, and then you click on the periods that you want this assignment to be assigned to. Also, you need to choose the grading period. Make sure you choose whatever current grading period you have. Quarter one progress is for the first half of the quarter, and quarter one grade is for both the first half and the second half of the quarter. Typically, in the progress period, you want to, before the first half of the quarter, you want to click progress and grade. In the second half, I usually choose just grade. That way, when it comes to report cards, I can go back and look and see what their grade was prior to progress reports and then what their grade currently is. And then you just click save. And then when you click save, it should take you back to your grade book and you should see your assignment right there. And that concludes this overall look at Synergy. I'll probably make another video that will go over the details of how to manipulate the assignments and the way your grade book looks.